this is been historically a developmental school, so you almost have to have kind of a developmental approach to when you're dealing with these kids, right?
Yeah, you do.
Because you're not getting kids at Ohio State, generally speaking, past that.
Yeah, and that's and that's something where they've done such a great job building this brand here, and we are. That don't mean we're not going to shoot for those guys.
Right.
We're going to shoot for them. It doesn't scare us off at all if they got an Ohio State offer or a Notre Dame offer. We're going to go after them because sometimes those guys. There's so many kids today that it's about how you've developed the players that you've had. And that's what we've done. Like at Troy, we were never a top 10 recruiting class. We had good recruiting classes, but we developed those kids. And the guy at the Athletic does a great job. I don't know if you read that article where he goes back and ranks like the 2015 class, and he re-ranks them. Gives them points by if they played, if they were all conference, if they're all American. Well, that class we recruited in Troy in 2015, we were top 20. At that time we were not even the top 100 probably. But that's all about developing kids. You take them in, you develop them. Maybe they're a 3-star, maybe they're. And we don't worry about that. We want guys that fit into what we're trying to do, and from a mentality fit into what we want to do here, being selfless and being hardworking.
You mentioned you played Division II, and then of course there's a lot of resourcefulness that happens on those levels in there because you don't have the budgets that you have at bigger schools, or the resources, or the players that I think. So there's a lot of innovation and resourcefulness in there.
Yeah, no doubt. You got it. And I played for Halma at Ohio State, and there was a lot of innovation there when it came to offense because we were the first ones in that conference where everybody's like, man, they're throwing it around everywhere. So I really learned a lot about football, about offensive line play and protection. Playing in that system and then coaching in it for several years. But yeah, there's definitely when you've only given so much and you got to do something with it, you got to figure out how to make things last a little longer, make things a little better. And it goes back to developing the players. Like you said, you take a kid that they say, man, maybe this kid's like the left tackle this year. I mean, that kid was like 240, they said, when he got here. And Coach Joseph just done such a tremendous job. And that guy has really impressed me as I've been here about how he does things, how he goes about his business. And he doesn't want any accolades. And he doesn't care about video and all his workouts. He just, he really instills that blue collar mentality. And he was a D2 player from down the street.
Right.
And that's what he does. He does a really good job of it.
So the key is trying to find those kids that will work, that will fit what your philosophy is, and be coachable and good teammates, and then you guys will take care of the
rest. And sometimes they're 4-stars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes they are long enough and fast enough and they fit in. And, sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're not guys. Sometimes it's guys that you just see that something in them, and you got to figure out how good they are and how good they can be. That's coaching them. That's what we got to do. Is we got to get them in here and we got to coach them to the point where they can be as good as they can be.
Body type you look for. I know most O-line coaches say they want long arms. Is that what
yes?
What do you
that's huge for me. You got to have some long arms. Now sometimes I'll take a shorter arm guy if he's just really powerful. He can play inside and be able to move people around. Athleticism's huge. We watch film, and we're that's one thing that we do is like every day at the end of the day we get together as staff for about 2 hours watching players. And we watch every position, and the reason we're doing it to watch players, we've already watched hundreds of them during that day, but it's about us talking about what we see and making sure we're all on the same page. When we're watching O-linemen, Coach Brown will ask the defensive back, what do you think about that kid? Just to make sure everybody's on the same page, recruiting-wise, what we're looking for. Hey, we're looking for athletes. Number one thing is make sure they're not on the ground. When you're watching film, if they're falling on the ground all the time, that's not what the guy, they don't have balance, they don't have good foot speed, they're not athletic. You got to have that. And of course, the body type is, you can't be 220 pounds anymore. So we're looking for long, we're looking for athletic, we're looking, and I think a big part for me is getting to know them and making sure that they're mentally tough kids. Talking to their high school coach, talking to their strength coach in high school. Does he ever miss workouts? Does he ever, we got to have those tough guys in here first. And I'll give up 2 inches and 20 pounds if the kid's tougher than this other guy that's a little bit bigger.
Is your system I guess what the word I'm looking for is versatile enough where you can inside guys can flip flop, outside guys can flip flop? Do you have swing guys? Do you have
here's the way I like to do it, and it doesn't always. This is the way I try to get it to work out. Sometimes when you first get to a place, you got to work with what you got.
Yeah.
But I like having left side players and right side players. because to me the hardest thing in football is to flip from right side to left side unless you've been playing for 4 or 5 years. You know, you start out on one side and then went to the other. But I like to have 3 guys on the left side. So you got a guard, a tackle, and you got a swing guy. They can play. You know, he's long enough arm to play tackle, but he's physical enough to play inside. Now I like to have 3 on the left, 3 on the right, and then 2 centers. That's the way I like to break it up.
Because of the steps, that's the reason why?
Yes, because your stance. It's really so much about stance and being comfortable in your stance and your footwork. Your footwork's no different at left guard than it is at left tackle. So now you go to right guard, everything changes, and it really messes some kids up. You know, I'll take a kid that's an older kid that can move, especially if we played his younger years on the other side. It's not that big of a deal. I don't like taking a freshman and going right guard, left guard. You know, I think it just takes them longer to develop. You know?
How many kids do you want to snap? How many do you need to have?
I try to
5?
Go with 4.
Or
I'm trying to
4?
go with 4.
Wow.
I try to go with 4 guys that can snap.
Did you have that at Troy?
I had 4 guys that could snap. Now, one of them was my starting left guard.
Okay.
You know, and he never played center, but he could snap. I made him work every day. And at least I knew he could snap. So I try to go with 4 guys that can snap. And I'm usually just going to rotate 2 at the center position. I like to have 4 guys in case something. I'll always travel 3 that can snap because you know all of a sudden. You look up, you got to make snap the ball. You can't do anything with offense, you know. So,
you got the ball every time.
Exactly.
Other than the quarterback, I guess the center's got it every time it's in, right?
And my centers, they're the quarterback of the offense. They make a lot of calls. They got to be really good communicators. I like them to be smart and really good communicators, and that's what I look for at the center position.
You've got to have a synergy too with the play callers. There's an O-line relationship, O-line coach, coordinator relationship. There isn't.
Oh yeah, no doubt. There's no doubt. There's when we're on the headsets, it's you can't talk too much because he's into it. He's always really intelligent. He's always a couple plays ahead. If you give him too much information, it kind of bogs him down. But I'll just say, hey, coach, we don't need to run to the left anymore. You know, just something small like that. He can put in his memory bank and say, hey, that guy, we're having a hard time handling this guy. Left guard struggling, whatever it is. You know, so I give him some tidbits like that, but you can't have too much conversation because he's been doing it so long. He's got it in his head. He's thinking, you know, he's looking at the score, he's looking at the time, he's looking at the distance, he's looking at what we're doing the next down, how's the defense playing. So there's so many things going on in his head. You got to be careful.
Watching, this is a really good compliment from watching just different cut-ups on YouTube. When you beat LSU, was different than how you beat Nebraska and how you beat these other teams. So there's different things that you guys do to make happen what you need to make happen.
Yeah, and it's you know, we've been. The biggest thing is for us is when we were at Troy, after our first year there, we struggled our first year, and then after our first year, we felt like we were really good on defense. And I saw Coach Brown go from an offense coordinator at Texas Tech, when we were 100 plays a game, we were throwing the ball, we were spread out, to going, hey, look, we're pretty good on defense, so let's make sure we can run the ball, let's play some tight end, some fullback. And so we kind of turned into that because he's not just stuck in one, hey, this is what I'm going to do. You know, he's going to do whatever's best, just like Alabama did this year. You know, they've always been a run team, and also they got great receivers. And they're going to do what they're good at. So.
Not a whole bunch of plays, though. A lot of formations, a lot of movement, a lot of, but really a core group of plays,
yes,
right?
No doubt. We're very fundamentalist when it comes to, especially run game and pass protection. We want to make sure we don't confuse those O-line. If you cannot confuse the O-line, if they know where to go and what to do, their chances of winning are just go through the roof. All of a sudden, confusion sets in. It can get hairy. So we're really fundamental. We're going to run inside zone, we're going to run outside zone, and we're going to run some gap plays, whether it's counter or power. It kind of depends on the fullback tight end situation. And that's what we're going to teach over and over and over. We're starting that right now, teaching the fundamentals of those plays. And once you get the fundamentals taught, now you can dress them up any way you want, you know. But you know, you go back, and that's the same thing. You watch the Patriots; they're going to stick to about 2 to 3 schemes the whole game. You know, now they dress them up 1,000 different ways, but that's what we're shooting for.
You had a chance. Obviously, you got a chance to watch them work out a little bit. Do you study them, what they did last year, or you wait until you to really start forming ideas about what they can do and where you
No, I've watched a lot of film.
Okay.
I've watched all the games, and then they did a deal on Thursday nights where all the young kids.
All them.
So we've watched all the development. I've watched all the developmental stuff, so I can see some of the young guys what they need to get better at. I met with all of them and said, "Hey, what do you need to improve on to make sure we're on the same page as far as flexibility or lower body strength or upper body strength or foot speed?" So that's really the point we're at right now. Is like, what do we need to get better at from an individual position standpoint? I feel like we got two guys that are proven players. So there's three spots where we got to find some guys to fill in those three spots.
and a center.